now my process is kind of all over the place. I don't know how to categorize myself. I'm more so of a creative now. That's how I would define myself, and that I create however creation lends itself to be made or be had.
Daydreaming about you, while you daydreaming about me. I seem to stay thinking about you. I hope you stay.
I'm thankful for my mom, because she worries about a lot of stuff, and like we ain't necessarily grow up in the best situations or whatever, or the best living situations, but she would allow me, you know, occasionally to like go over to my friends' houses, or like, you know, after I remember at a certain point I wasn't really like, she didn't want me going outside because, you know, she didn't want me getting involved with the wrong crowd, you know, doing X, Y, Z, you know, but I was always able to link with my friends, and so I was always able to, like, once we got together and started, you know, figuring out, all right, what can we do within this house? And like, okay, like we can listen to music and make songs, you know, and like that's something that we've all kind of been around, you know, going to church, they sing all the time, and like, so we kind of just naturally got into the flow of making songs and making music, and it was something that we just kind of did on the weekends, you know, because you know, we're young, we're teenagers, we trying to find something to do with our time, you know, and especially if I like wasn't dating or I didn't have to go on a date, like, you know, I was chilling with my boys and we were making music, and like we were really like, I don't know, like I guess like I always feel like we always had potential, because I was like, yo bro, that's a bar right there, that kind of go, you know, and then like, but didn't necessarily understand or know how it was going to manifest or play itself out. It was just something that we kind of did to pass the time by. And then I guess over time, I realized the importance that it had in my life. I recognized my passion for music when every time I tried to put it down, I found myself picking it up. You know, I graduated from high school, and I went to college, and I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to, especially like going to a place like Yale, and I'm like, okay, there's no place for rap and like music, especially not from like my type of rap and music at a place like Yale, I'm thinking, you know, and then I get there, and I'm on campus, and then I end up, you know, about to go into, and I end up auditioning for this acapella group, and I'm like, singing acapella was never in my, you know, my memory or anything like that, but it was like, here I am doing this, like it seemed like by like the whim or like the grace of God. And like that's happened to me over many courses of time. And like looking at it in high school, just like I'd walk through the halls, and every day I'm singing to myself, you know, and then girls will hear it and be like, oh, you sound kind of good. You think you can sing? You so cute. And like, and that's kind of always been the way it's been received. Girls have always been like, oh, like you can sing, you know. And then dudes, man, you think you can sing? Blah, blah, blah. And like that haterism, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of got to me in high school. That's why I didn't really sing in high school. Cause I was like, I can't really sing. Like, well, you know, what I don't think I'm doing. And so, you know, I kind of let that get to me. But then, you know, I graduated and went to a place where it was more accepted. And then when it was in that environment, it was able to grow. And so that passion has kind of always been with me, and I'm glad that it's able to finally manifest itself. Honestly, I feel like I would have to say I'm a writer who sings. Like now that I'm thinking about it, like how did things kind of come about? I was probably like writing a note or something in my phone, or I remember I did a poetry competition in high school, and so I guess like for me, I started out writing stuff. It kind of depends. It depends on where I'm at emotionally at the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I could be inspired by something that's happening in the now, and I want to write about it now. Like I just recently, I'm working on this song about the Stephen Clark shooting that just happened, you know, and how that made me feel. I wrote a song called King about just like police violence, and now like it's still happening. That was back in 2016. It's 2018 now, so it's like, okay, now it's still happening, and like I still feel some type of way about it. I'm gonna write about it. Or, you know, if there are things in the future, like I don't know, I feel like too, you gotta like be the change you want to see in the world, and so like I try to put forth good ideas and good thoughts too in the music, so that someone will listen to it and be like, I ain't never really think about it like that. Maybe I want to start doing that, you know. Or they listen to a song about relationships, you know, if I'm putting it, you know, into music about like, yo, I'm trying to be with my girl, I'm trying to be faithful to my girl, I'm trying to like hold her down, you know, maybe, you know, people other people want to do that too. For me, I think when producers also have feelings and can infuse that into their beats or their instrumentals, like, you know, I remember I told my homie Mac one time, I was just listening to one of his instrumentals and I was like, yo, there ain't no words to this song, but I can hear what this song is saying. You know what I mean? And like, there's a message in this song, just listening to the beat. And I feel like a lot of times, you know, like producers don't get enough credit for that. Like, you know, a beat is I say 50% of a song. You know, you can't really like you can write stuff without a beat, but like when you go into something purely organically and like someone's just playing a beat and then you just put what's in your heart onto that, like what came from your heart is inspired by that beat and that produced you know, sound. And so yeah, just having that open and acceptance on the exploratory side and then that criticism on the refinement side, I think produces the best product possible.